broadcast live? Is it live? Is the broadcast live?
I don't know if it's streaming yet, but everything's live.
Good afternoon, fans, or I should say good morning, fans on the East Coast of the United States. It's about 11:35 Eastern in New York in the capital region of New York as we get set for the second weekend of play of the Junior Women's Hockey League weekend schedule. Last couple weeks ago, they were up in Lake Placid, about 2.5 hours north of us here in the capital region. But this weekend, we're at Union College and RPI for a whole bunch of JWHL hockey action. Our first game of the weekend comes here from Union College in Schenectady, New York, as we have the Washington Pride taking on the Balmoral Hill School out of Winnipeg, Manitoba. Looking forward to bringing you this action here. The first game of a very long weekend for a bunch of these teams. Balmoral Hill comes in after a very good weekend in Lake Placid. They went 4-1 in those 5 games. They started off with 3 straight victories. They took down Northwood School 5-4, thanks to 2 goals each from Haley McDonald and Caitlin Yackel. Then stormed back to beat North American Hockey Academy 5-4. They came back from a 4-1 deficit to score twice in the second, once in the third, and then got an OT game winner from McDonald once again, her second of the game. After that one, following a 3-2 win over Stansted College, the team lost 2-1 to Rothesay Netherwood School, then rebounded with a 5-0 win over Pacific Steelers, getting 2 more goals from McDonald. Washington Pride, meanwhile, 1-2-1 in Lake Placid. Started with a 4-0 loss to Stansted College, then came back with a 4-3 win over Rothesay Netherwood School, with Avi Mataver netting the game winner in the third period and Clara Martin making 25 saves. They dropped a 4-3 game to Northwood School and then tied the Pacific Steelers 3-3, again thanks to Mataver's game-tying extra attacker goal with 1:12 remaining. So we're underway here from Mesa Rink in Schenectady, New York, as we get set for what is a long weekend of hockey here in Schenectady and in Troy. Balmoral Hall in the green and yellow uniforms, and we're 18 seconds in, and we already have ourselves a penalty. So on the first shift of the game, there will be the first penalty of the, at this point, morning. And it's going to be Morgan Smith going to the box for a trip for Balmoral Hall, and so we'll see what Washington can do on the player advantage. As we said, just 18 seconds into this game, and we have our first power play opportunity as we wait for the penalty to go up on the scoreboard. Out there for Washington on this man-up unit, we have Ellie Prantner, Maddie Wojak, and Sophia Lido. D-pairing is Avery Mataver and Elizabeth Jones. So 4 forwards out there on the ice for the Pride to start this contest. As the faceoff is won by Balmoral Hall, and they'll dump it all the way down the ice. Going back to chase it will be Matayer. Matayer eludes Maddie Kaiser, and Washington will attempt to move its way up the ice. Matayer with it once again. She's the team leader in scoring on the year. 3 goals and 1 assist for 4 points from the blue line. And has scored in 3 straight games entering today's contest. Now the Pride with the puck in the offensive zone. Looking to find someone to go with it was Wojak. And it's cleared away down the ice by the Blazers. Alex Erdman will handle it behind the net for Washington. Erdman on the year 0-2, a 4.03 goals against average and an .871 save percentage for the Luthersville, Maryland native. 1 minute left to go on the power play. And Washington yet to really get any established possession in the offensive zone. Abby Pino with it for Balmoral Hall, back behind the net. She shakes away one defender, still has it, will dish it off to her D partner. Now comes back to her, and she'll wheel it around the far side and out of the zone. Sofia Matuzovic back to get it behind the net. And Washington with one last chance here, 25 seconds remaining on the power play. Again, unable to get the puck into the offensive zone. Balmoral Hall here with a shorthanded opportunity. That shot taken by Brea Kapusta is blocked. And Washington back the other way. 10 seconds left to go, so now one final rush on the power play, and offsides will whistle that chance dead. 17:48 left to go in the opening period. 6 seconds remaining on the tripping penalty to Morgan Smith. Madeline McKay will take this face-off against Sophia Lito. And the Blazers will control. Back to even strength here early on in this first period. No shots on goal for Washington on that power play opportunity. Morgan Hill hasn't knocked off her stick. There's a shot that gets blocked in the high slot. And out to center ice it comes. Abby Pino will control. Now giving away Lydia Misner. Cockrell back to Misner. Now it's taken up the ice by Valinska. She'll dump it in and chase after it herself. Near side, Carly Hins sends it up, and now a potential break here for Washington. Chasing after it, Charlotte Manning, but getting to it first is Jordan Nishi of Balmoral Hall. Nishi with it, all the way to the offensive zone. Nice pass off. There's a shot that saved McKenna Willamant. Had the attempt that went right into the chest of Alex Erdman. She stops it and holds on for the face-off with 16:44 to go in the opening frame. That's the first shot on goal for either team in this contest so far. Willamant will take the draw and will win it for the Blazers as a tie-up in the near side corner. Rowan Ringer with it behind the net. Passes out towards the crease area, or to the point area. No one there. And the Blazers retreat to center ice. Now Willamette with it. Gains the offensive zone. Partial line change coming up for the Blazers here, but they'll keep the puck in the offensive end. There's a shot that does not get through. It goes off the skate of Maddie Wojciak. And cleared out once again to the Balmoral defensive end. 4 minutes gone by in the opening frame. Still no score here in the first period. The first and only game here at Union College today. There'll be 2 games at RPI coming up later this evening. Of course, you can watch those on the JWLHL YouTube channel. We thank you for joining us here for the first game of the weekend. Puck dumped in the offensive end. Yetman the first one to it. And she'll leave it off now for Cockrell. Near side, tape to tape for Maddie Kaiser. And offside there as McDonald could not get it in the zone. Nice job defensively by Laura McMenamin there to impede her progress at the blue line and force the offsides. Face-off coming in neutral ice right in front of the Washington Pride bench. Pride led by Kush Sidhu. Face-off won by Balmoral Hall. They'll dump it in. Goes just to the side of the net dangerously there. And Pride will control. Cannot clear the zone, however. McDonald with it. Passes it out front. There's a shot. Big save there by Alex Erdman. As McDonald didn't get a whole lot on that pass. That allowed Erdman a little chance to go post to post there to make the stop to keep this game scoreless. Puck behind the net. Peyton Chornley had it for a second for Washington. Now comes back out to center ice where Misner will control. Leaves it off for McDonald. McDonald, the leading scorer in the JWHL in that first weekend. She had 6 goals and 3 assists for 9 points in 5 games. A huge weekend for her. And of course, your team goes 4-1. There's a good chance you're going to have some players with some big stats, and she is certainly the biggest of them all to this point in the young season. Morgan Smith second on the team in scoring with 5 points, 4 goals, and 1 assist. Now Washington back the other way. That shot goes wide off the stick of Casey Blum. Now to center it comes, where Metire will control. And she'll dump it back in. Chasing right after it for Washington is Estrid Wilbur. But it's controlled by Balmoral Hall, and bringing it out to neutral ice be Rowan Ringer. Yackel just as often. That was Wojciak, and that puck ends up going towards the net, and it's turned aside by Lauren Cherkis. In goal for Balmoral Hall today. She's 1-1, a 2.81 goals against average, 878 save percentage for the class of 2025 graduate. That was her first shot she faced so far today. 2-1 the shots so far early on in this contest. 13:20 to go in the opening frame. That shot by Jones gets blocked in the near side corner. Trickles out to the side of the crease area there, and it's sent all the way down the ice, Balmoral Hall. And that will be an icing call on the Blazers. The puck will come back down the other end. 13:06 remaining in the first period. No score here from Union College in Schenectady, New York. As you said, this is the second weekend of JWHL play. After this, they'll be going to Providence and Brown as they head to Rhode Island on December 15th and 17th. Basically one weekend a month for most of the year until the playoffs in mid-March in Boston. Balmoral Hall in the offensive zone. Maddie Kaiser with it behind the net, looking for somewhere to go. Gets teamed up by a couple players. Still has it, and that puck trickles wide. Now Washington looks for a breakout. Pass the middle for Dee Dee Tyndall. She'll dump it in as Washington will go off for a line change. Blazers back the other way. Hayden McDonald sending a pass forward, looking towards the middle for Kaiser. But she was knocked off the puck ever so slightly. Now we've delayed offside on Balmoral Hall. It allows Washington free clear out of the zone, and they'll dump it into the offensive end. Play in front of the Washington bench. Coming away with it was Casey Blum. Trying to go 1-on-3 in the offensive zone. That doesn't work out. But the puck stays in the offensive end for the Pride, as they look to get a forecheck established here. Puck kept in the zone by Sophia Lido. Now that puck goes in front of the net as Lido just kind of shuffled that one towards the net, trying to catch Cherkis off guard, but she was able to make the stop and hold on for the stoppage of play. With 11:40 remaining in the period. Shots are 2-2 at this point. Face-off won by Balmoral Hall, and they'll look to quickly escape the zone. Madeline McKay with it, going end-to-end. Her shot is denied. Washington looking to escape the zone, can't do so. It's kept in the blue line by Cockrell. Now Willamette with it. Leaves it off for, I believe that's Ringer. Behind the net, pass in front. Nice stick work there by Maddie Wojciak as she denies the pass out front. And Washington will send it down the ice. They'll wave off the icing, I believe, as Kurtia Yetman goes back to retrieve it. Pass back to the blue line, unfortunately for Washington. Elizabeth Jones was going off for a line change, wasn't there to collect the pass. But now it's back to Carly Hinz. Hinz in the zone, leaves it off. Here's a shot that's steered away by Cherkis. Net looks like it's off its mooring, and eventually the whistle does blow to stop play, as Cherkis had to go post to post there and to keep the puck out. The Portage La Prairie, Manitoba native, class of 2025. Smith and Robbins on the draws. Now Smith gets kicked out. taken instead by McDonald. It's won by Washington. They'll keep it in the zone. Pass in the middle. Looking for McMenamin. And she'll go into the near side corner. Back in the corner it goes. Hins with it. Try to get it back to the blue line. It deflects to the corner once again, and now Balmoral Hall will control. Scooped out to center ice by Smith, and she's denied there by Matuzewicz. We'll try the near side. Comes back to McMenamin. Wanted to go deep pairing there. Instead went up the ice with it. Eventually it finds its way back to Sofia Matuzewicz. Here's a shot on goal there by Grace McCluskey that is saved by Cherkis as the action starts to heat up here as we pass the midway point of the opening frame. 9:36 to go in the opening period. Still no score. 6-4 the shots are now in favor of Washington as they have started to find the momentum here a little bit after Balmoral Hall had much of the possession in the first couple minutes. Play at center ice once again comes loose to Yetman. Yetman will gain the zone. It's knocked off her stick though by Blum. Back out to center ice. And the Blazers will try again. They'll send it in near side corner. Blum over there as well as Morgan Smith. It's cycled all the way down to the near side. It's kept in at the blue line by DeGroot. At least for a second. Now it scoots out to center ice. Blum with it. Tries to get by a couple of defenders. Stops on a dime. Still has the puck on her stick. Leaves it off. And sending it behind the net was Lido. Matire with it now. It's knocked off her stick and it's sent down the ice by Balmoral Hall as they'll go off for a line change. Now Lido. And the Blazers with it. Coming up the near side, Rowan Ringer. Leaves it off for Willamette. Her shot's denied by Erdman. Still in the zone. Shot from the blue line. That one whistles wide by Misner. I don't think Erdman even saw that one. But it whistled pretty well wide of the cage. Blazers still with it in the offensive zone. Looking to establish something here. Misner goes down low for Willamette. Willamette has the puck knocked off her stick by Wojciak. And the Pride will send it out to center ice. So a good shift there by Balmoral Hall, but Washington, you've seen so far in this game, their sticks have been very active in the passing lanes, not allowing Balmoral Hall to do too much with it in the offensive zone. Blazers back in the offensive end. Kaiser behind the net. It's knocked off her stick by McMenamin as the team's fight for it. Back to blue line once again. Nishi goes cross ice. The shot I should say, of Cockrell gets blocked, I believe, by her own player. I think that was McDonald that took that off the shin. Puck stays in the zone temporarily, and it will stay in the zone. And now here's McDonald with a chance in front, and she misses the top corner. She was wide open in front as that puck just stayed in the offensive zone, and she was behind the defense. Tried to pick the top right corner, but just could not do so. And we remain scoreless here, under 7 minutes to go now in this opening frame. Shots on goal even at 6 apiece as the teams fight for it in the near side. 3 Washington players, 2 Balmoral Hall players over there, and coming out with it is Kaiser. There's a shot from the near side by Smith, is denied. And out to center ice it comes, but Balmoral Hall right back in the offensive end. Morgan Smith, as she gets a stick caught up in her jersey. Puck stays in the zone. And now stick handling out is Olivia Robbins. Excuse me, that's Sofia Matuzewicz. And she'll jump it in, go off for a line change. That was a long shift defensively for Washington as the Blazers applied a lot of pressure, but a couple shots, no goals. Here's a shot that gets deflected wide by Lucy Valinska. Morgan Hill back behind the net. A couple of green and yellow jerseys as Balmoral Hall is starting to swarm the puck offensively here in the offensive end. Really starting to apply a lot of pressure to this Washington defense. Yetman at the blue line. She'll cycle it around behind the net. Near side, Lido with it. And she'll send it out to center ice with some help from Hins. That was Blum, excuse me. But either way, right back offensive zone. There's a shot that gets blocked. A nice job of getting the stick in the way by Madeline Hill. And Washington be able to break the defensive zone. Sends it in deep as they will continue a line change. An offside on a delay here, and unable to get the message was Olivia Robbins. So the faceoff will come in neutral ice with 4:58 remaining in the first period of play. Still no score here at Balmoral Hall and Washington Pride. Thank you for joining us here this morning. It's still morning for 3 more minutes here in Schenectady, New York. Willamette and Lido on the draw. It's won by Willamette, back to the blue line. Ringer with it. Leaves it off for Nishi. I know to keep it in the zone. It's taken away by Ellie Prantner. Prantner got by one defender, couldn't get by the second one, and the puck squirts back out to center ice. Washington will regroup. Put a shot on goal there. Is saved. That was Lido who put the attempt on goal. Churkus up to the task. Both goalies looking pretty sharp so far early on in this game. Now a 2-on-2 break the other way for Balmoral Hall. McKay's pass, though, was intercepted. Now Washington back the other way. Jones with it. Tried to pass it towards the middle. The pass was deflected behind the net. And DeGroot has it. Out to center, off to McDonald. McDonald still with it. McDonald cutting back towards the middle. Wheels around. Her shot saved by Erdman. You can see McDonald certainly has a lot of talent. Whenever she's on the ice, you have to watch out if you're Washington. That pass towards the middle is deflected back to the far side. Now out in front, wide open there was Maddie Kaiser. She couldn't collect the pass, and it squirts into the corner. Another pass back out in front. Washington closing the ranks around their net. As that shot whistles wide by DeGroot from the blue line. Washington having some trouble clearing the zone. Morgan Smith with it. That pass by Kaiser was deflected dangerously near the net. Ended up going to the far side boards harmlessly. Washington again having trouble getting the puck out of their zone. Great forecheck by Abby Pino. McDonald leaves it off. Now back to the blue line. That shot is saved by Erdman, as that came from Cockrell through a bunch of players in front. And Washington will finally get the puck out of the zone. Not long enough for the icing, so we'll keep playing here. Under 3 minutes to go in the opening frame. Still no score. Puck tied up behind the Balmoral Hall net. DeGroot will shuffle it back behind the cage. And the Blazers look to escape the zone, which they do, back out to center. Hill having some trouble with it. Blum sends it forward a little bit, but finally back in their own zone. Collecting the puck is Madeline Hill. Now Grace McCluskey with it. Wheels around, will go back behind the net from whence she came. Still with it out in front, looking for a one-timer there was Blum. She couldn't collect it. But on the near side, she gets the puck back. Shot from the blue line by Wilbur is blocked, and now Balmoral Hall back the other way. McKenna Willamette, her shot saved by Erdman. Another big stop there by Erdman, as she is 10 for 10 so far in this first period. That pass goes all the way through the slot. McKay could not connect with it. Back to the blue line for Nishi. Nishi has some space. Her shot denied by Erdman once again. Near side corner. DeGroot fighting with it along with Hill. Now Ringer with it behind the net. As she knocks down Wilbur. Puck is still there. Morgan Smith gets taken down. No call. Back to blue line it comes. Now DeGroot with it. Her shot gets blocked. Nice stick work there by McCluskey to send that puck fluttering over the net. Still in the zone. And finally sending it all the way down the ice. And this one could be icing. And it's going to scoot over the red line for the icing call. With 52 seconds even left in the opening frame. Face-off won by Balmoral Hall. Looking to get one here before the end of the period. Out of the zone, though, as Jones sends it forward. Now Prantner. Now back the other way. Stood up at the red line. And now Matire with it. We said her name a bunch early. Haven't said it a whole lot in the last 10 minutes or so. As it's been Balmoral Hall on the offensive for a large part of this opening frame. And delayed offside there, but everyone tags up. As the final seconds tick off the clock. And that will do it for the first period of play. No score here between Balmoral Hall and Washington. Shots in that first period, 11-7 in favor of Balmoral Hall. So as we said, this is the second weekend of play in the Junior Women's Hockey League. Today, tomorrow, and Sunday between Union College and RPI. After this, they'll head to Providence and Brown in Rhode Island on December 15th through 17th. In January, they'll head west to the University of Minnesota for the 26th and 28th there in the land of the Gophers. February 16th and 19th, they head down to Washington, D.C., where the Pride will host the annual Challenge Cup in the nation's capital. March 1st through 3rd, they head to Quebec at Stansted College, March 1 through 3. And then, as I said earlier, the 15th through 17th, the JWHL playoffs will take place in Boston, Massachusetts. So, certainly a busy season for these teams. As I said, there's a lot of games this weekend as well. For Washington, after today, they play 2 games tomorrow at RPI. They take on the Pacific Steelers at 10 a.m. and the North American Hockey Academy at 4 p.m. Balmoral Hall, meanwhile, plays Naha and the Northwood Schools tomorrow. And they play the Pacific Steelers on Sunday. All 3 of those games will be at RPI. So we do thank you for joining us here. What is now the afternoon here in New York, 12:05 on the clock. So for both these teams, I think both coaches have to be relatively happy with the way they played. For Balmoral Hall, I think they certainly applied a whole lot of offensive pressure. But for Washington, I think the defense was very sound for them. They got some big stops from Alex Erdman, the Lutherville, Maryland native, to keep their team in the game. So we'll see what adjustments, if any, these teams make in the second period. As the teams switch ends, Balmoral Hall will now go from left to right on your computer screen. Washington will go from right to left. Goalies stay the same. Alex Erdman made 11 saves in that first period for Washington. Lauren Cherkis made 7 stops for Balmoral Hall in the opening frame. Wilbur and Yackel on the faceoff to begin the second period, and we're underway for period number 2 here from Mesa Rink. Faceoff is won by the Pride, and immediately again another penalty. The first period there was a penalty, I think 17 seconds in. This time there's a penalty 12 seconds in. And it's going to be Haley McDonald going to the box for tripping. So it's 2 more minutes on the power play for Washington. They're 0 for 1 on the power play today. They did not get a shot on their first player advantage opportunity. Look for a little more success here on chance number 2. Won the face-off, got the puck in the offensive zone. Now it's tied up on the far side boards. Still there. Now finally it's taken free. Prentner with it in the corner. She gets bodied into the boards once again as Balmoral Hall doing a great job right now just delaying and keeping the puck on those end boards. Not allowing Washington to get anything going. We're already 45 seconds into this power play. Puck out to center ice. Matera will control. Leaves it off for Wojciak. Now a short-handed opportunity coming up here for Kaiser. Kaiser going 1-on-5. That's, generally speaking, not going to work out too well. And if nothing else, though, it takes a few more seconds off the clock for the Blazers. Washington back the other way. Wojciak trying to get the puck deep in the offensive zone. Cannot do so. And once again, Balmoral Hall back the other way. Ringer gets taken down. No call as she put her arms up in the air a little bit. We're about a minute and a half through this power play and no real opportunities for Washington even to get set in the offensive zone at this point. Balmoral Hall with it. Ringer doing a great job just skating around and taking a couple of bodies with her as she will just delay. On the near side, the puck is, I think, underneath her, and there's players from both teams going over there, and finally the referees will blow the whistle to stop play. 17:58 left to go. 10 seconds remaining on the penalty to McDonald. And the faceoff is going to come out in neutral zone. Chomley against Jones on this draw. And it's won by Balmoral Hall. That puck shuffled on the goal by McKay, I should say. It was saved by Erdman. And back to even strength we are here early on in the second period. Not much of anything doing for Washington on their 2 power plays so far, as there's a shot taken over the net by Smith. And the Blazers now back on the offensive. Behind the net, now leaving it off. At the blue line, Yetman with it. Dishes it off to Chornley. And we'll have a stoppage of play as another stave by Erdman. Up to 13 now on the game. Only 2 shots of the second period have come from the Blazers to this point. Face-off won by Washington. Pride trying to get the puck out of their zone. They can't do so. It stood up on the near end boards. Finally now trickles out to center ice. Pino just is off across to her D partner, Valinska. And she'll dump it in. You've seen the Balmoral Hall forecheck has been relentless so far in this game. Washington with the potential 3-on-2 break here. And we're going to have another penalty, I believe, coming up. This one's going to be on Washington. So it's a delayed call coming up on the Pride as we have a touch-up before Cherkis could get to the bench. And it's going to be a high sticking call on Astrid Wilbur, the Alexandria, Virginia native. And she'll go in the box for 2 minutes, and we'll see what Balmoral Hall can do with their first power play opportunity of the game. As you said, Washington 0 for 2 on the power play. Smith out there to take the draw for Balmoral Hall. Wins it cleanly back to Misner at the blue line. Pass in front is tipped. I believe that was Kaiser in front who got a tip on it, but Erdman made the save. And more importantly, allows Washington to clear the zone. McMenamin gets the puck down the ice. Gets taken down, but still takes a few more seconds off the clock. Pass forward to McDonald. A nifty move there to get by one player. Leaves it off. There's a shot that's saved by Kaiser. Or Kaiser's shot, I should say, that's saved by Erdman. And then the pass back to the blue line by McDonald eludes Cockrell. And she'll have to scamper all the way back to her defensive zone to pick it up. Now Misner crosses over the red line and into the offensive zone. Drops it off for Kaiser. Back to Misner. Misner thought about trying to put it in front. There was no one there, though. Drop it off far side corner back to Kaiser. Kaiser goes behind the net. McDonald with it near side corner. McDonald eludes one check. Leaves it off for Yackel. Excuse me, that's Smith, I should say. Pass out in front for Kaiser. It was saved again by Erdman and set down the ice. 42 seconds left on the power play chance. 15 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the second period. Here in this scoreless game. Williman thought about going back to the blue line. Instead goes behind the net. Now it's Ringer with it behind the cage. Ringer looking for somewhere to go. Finally goes back to the blue line for Nishi. Cross-ice pass. Yetman with some room. And that pass is deflected away. And now here comes Casey Blom with some speed. Blom will hold the puck as the final seconds tick off the power play. We're back to even strength. 3 shots on goal, I believe, for Balmoral Hall in that power play, but nothing finds the back of the net as we remain scoreless. There's a shot in front save and the rebound as well. 2 big stops by Lauren Cherkis there. One from the blue line, then one on the doorstep. And Balmoral Hall back the other way. That shot whistles wide off the stick of McKay. And back and forth we go. Up and down the ice action here in this second period. And that one finds the back of the net. Dee Tyndall with the goal that may have been deflected, and it finds the top corner. Tyndall, her first goal of the season. And Washington has a 1-0 lead. So Dee Tyndall with the goal for Washington, her first of the season for the 2024 graduate from Annapolis, Maryland. And despite Balmoral Hall having the pressure for most of the second period to this point, all it takes is one time down the ice, and the Pride have themselves a 1-0 lead. And now back the other way here, the Pride come again. That shot's saved by Cherkis as it's blockered away. So Washington, a little bit of offensive spark going here. But now a giveaway. Balmoral Hall back the other way. Glove save there by Alex Erdman, as she denied Abby Pino. So back and forth action we have here in the second period. 13:41 to go in the middle frame. Washington with a 1-0 lead. And we'll see how Balmoral Hall plays from behind. They haven't played a whole lot from behind. Here's a shot, another glove save by Erdman. She denies Maddie Kaiser. So officially that Washington goal was Tyndall, her first of the year, assisted by Sophia Lido. That's Lido's second assist of the season. And that came 6 minutes even into the second period of play. Face-off won by Balmoral Hall. The puck is steered out in front and dangerously there as McDonald sent it through the top of the crease area. But now the Pride back the other way. Madeline McKay with it behind the net. Looking for some options in front. Says goes back to the blue line. Now Morgan Hill will just steer it to the near side corner. And Smith will control for Balmoral. Now Haley McDonald has it on the near side. McDonald will flip it in far side, as Kaiser first one to it for either team. She's taken off her stick, though, by Madeline Hill. And again, just cleared down the ice by Washington as they go off for a line change. 12:35 to go in the second period. 1-0 Washington. Now in the offensive zone, McCluskey with it. Sends one on goal. That's steered away easily by Cherkis into the corner. Shots 18-12 now in favor of Balmoral Hall. Back to get it, McCluskey. And it's kept in just barely at the blue line by Pino. Excuse me, that was Ringer with it, who kept it in. Now they'll play in the near side corner. Players from both teams. It's finally chipped out by Blum. Nearly intercepted pass there, and McCluskey would have had a breakaway chance if she'd been able to get a stick on that cross-ice pass. But crisis averted for Balmoral, and now back the other way. And there's a shot that's saved by Erdman, then goes off the outside of the post. So some good luck there for Washington, as the initial shot was saved and then trickled off the outside of the post. Erdman scrambled to keep it out and knock the net off its moorings. The faceoff will stay in the offensive zone for the Blazers. 11:35 to go, second period. Faceoff coming to the right of Erdman. One cleanly by the Blazers. One-timer taken from the point by Misner. Erdman started all the way and was able to get the glove on that one. And held on to stop play. So we'll have another face-off, this time to Erdman's left. Smith will take it against Lido. As we have a stray water bottle that is taken off the bench. Or taken off the net, I should say, onto the bench. Again, face-off won by the green and yellow. It's dumped in. Washington now will control. Tyndall, the game's lone goal scorer to this point, shovels out to center ice. Now Ellie Prantner with it. Prantner passing out in front. It's knocked away, though, by Cockrell. And Balmoral Hall back to the way. Collision there around the blue line as McMenamin took down Kaiser. No call from the referees. Will play on. Washington controls behind the net, looking to escape the zone. Matuzovic with it. Tried the far side. That didn't work. Now we'll try the near side. That's not working either. And the Blazers will reestablish possession. Try to cycle it down low behind the net. Looking for Pino. Now back to the near side corner. And that's, I believe, Yackel over there who sends it back to the blue line. Nishi. Her shot saved by Erdman. She has been on her game so far in this contest. As we approach the midway point, we have an icing call on Washington. 10:19 to go in the second period. Still 1-0 our score in favor of Washington. The shots are now 21-12 in favor of the Blazers. But all that matters is the one on the scoreboard for Washington at this point is they have a 1-0 lead. Face-off this time won by Washington, but it's quickly taken away by Ringer. Out in front. Nothing doing there. Now on the far side corner, comes loose. There's a shot that gets blocked in front. I think that was Hill, Morgan Hill, that got a skate on it for Washington to keep it away from the net. Back to the blue line. Nishi once again cycles towards the middle. The shot again is blocked. That one may have been by Williman, her own player. Washington, again, having trouble getting the puck out of the offensive, or defensive end, I should say. This Balmoral Hall forecheck has been very relentless for large portions of this game. There's a missed outlet pass as they were looking for the long pass forward for Rotherham. She couldn't connect. And we'll have another icing on the Pride. Back down the defensive end. 9:33 to go in the second period. Battle for it on the near side. Or far side, excuse me. Kaiser had it for a second. It's flipped up into the air and out of the zone by McCluskey. Racing after it is Kelsey Blum. And if nothing else, she forces a stoppage of play, although there might be a penalty. And if so, that's a great play by Kelsey Blum there, as she raced by a couple of players and in the end is going to force a penalty on Balmoral Hall, as it's going to be a holding call for Neve Cockrell. Or holding or interference, but either way, that was all done by Casey Blum. as she forced the pressure there, and Washington's going to get a penalty as a result, or a power play should say as a result, with 9:14 to go. Face-off won by Morgan Smith. So far, the power play hasn't been too powerful for Washington. They're 0 for 2, and they have not gotten a shot yet on their player advantage. Misner sends it up the near side boards. Now a potential opportunity here. Haley McDonald on and on breakaway. McDonald shot, score! A shorthanded goal for Haley McDonald. Her 7th goal of the season, and while shorthanded, Balmoral Hall strikes to even the game at 1. And that was just a perfectly executed breakout there for the Blazers. As we've said, the power play has not been great for Washington. The penalty kill has been excellent for Balmoral Hall. And you cannot leave Haley McDonald wide open at center ice with no one between her and the goalie. Nothing that Erdman could do about that one. And so an even game we're back to here. 1-1, 8:35 now remaining in the second period of play. And we'll see if Washington can get something going here in the power play to regain their lead. Back to the blue line. Matire has it knocked off her stick by Smith. Washington back in the offensive end, and it's shuffled forward by Wojciak. Now to the blue line. And Pranger will control. He's had it go over a stick for a second. Pass out towards the crease area. No one there wearing the white, black, and gold of Washington. And Balmoral Hall will send the puck down the ice. 45 seconds remaining on the Pride power play. They're third of the game. They're currently 0 for 2. So the goal officially McDonald, her 7th of the season, assisted by Morgan Smith and Kurtia Yetman. Smith, her 2nd assist of the season. Yetman, her 1st. Far side corner, Morgan Hill trying to do something with it. She's bodied up by Jordan Nishi. Puck goes out in the slot, and unable to get all the way to Cherkis. That's taken away. And Abby Pino with it up the ice. Pino looking to go end to end. The pass out in front, unable to collect it cleanly, was Ringer. Gets a shot that goes wide. Back to even strength. 7 minutes left to go in period number 2. 1-1 is our score as that puck just goes out of the reach of McKenna Willamette. And the Blazers will regroup in their own defensive end. Sent all the way back in the offensive zone. Madeline Hill could not clear the zone. And the Blazers will control once again. Smith behind the net. I believe that's Chornley, actually, number 19. Player goes down for Balmoral Hall, no call. McKay had it for a second and then shuffled a pass to Valinska. Went wide. Now in front end, the puck goes in, but the whistle comes off. The whistle stops play. And that's a huge break for Washington. As Madeline McKay, I believe, was the one who was wide open in the slot, and she found the back of the net. But unfortunately for Balmoral Hall, the net came loose. And so we will remain a 1-1 score here with 6:17 to go. In period number 2, a huge break for the Pride. Back to action. McDonald has a shot that's blocked off the shin pads of Wilbur. So it's been almost all Balmoral Hall here in the second period. Now under 6 minutes remaining. And ironically, the only goal they've scored has been shorthanded. They've had plenty of time, plenty of opportunity, even strength. They've had a power play chance, but it was shorthanded where they were able to find the back of the net for the first time today. Then McDonald, her 7th goal in 6 games so far in this young JWHL season. Fight for it near side corner, comes back to the blue line. DeGroot will send it back behind the goal line. And Washington will control. Unable to catch on their passes, though, and Chorley will control it for 1 second. And Pride, again, just trying to break out of their own zone, having enough trouble just trying to get the puck out. Now Matuszewicz with it, and she will clear the puck down the ice. Not far enough for icing, though. Pino sends it forward. It's knocked away. Hens the offensive zone. She gets tripped up, and that's going to be a penalty to Linnea Misner. And she's going to go off for a trip. So whether it's a positive or negative, not quite sure for Washington, but it's going to be a tripping penalty on Linnea Misner with 4:44 to go in this second period. And so now for the fourth time today, Washington will go on the power play. They're 0 for 2 in the first period. They're 0 for 1 so far in the second. And, of course, in their last power play chance, they gave up a shorthanded goal to tie the game. This puck sent all the way down the ice. Erdman will control it and will cover it up for a face-off. So that's a best-case scenario there for Balmoral Hall as they clear the zone and get an offensive zone drive out of it as well, 10 seconds into this power play. It's going to be Willamette against Lido on this draw to the right of Alex Erdman. Face-off won by Washington. And they will look to escape their zone with 4.5 to go in this second frame. Up to center ice with it, Sophia Lido. Will shuffle it down in the near side corner. Now back up to the blue line area for Elizabeth Jones. Jones from Matire. Her shot gets blocked off the skate of Yetman. And now Yetman with a will control it behind the net off to Jones on the near side. And she'll shuffle it up to the blue line where it's kept in by Matire. And now a tripping penalty to come on Washington is sticking the skate out very clearly was Ellie Prantner as she took down to Kurtia Yetman. And so now we'll have 1 minute and 4 seconds of 4-on-4 action. And then Balmoral Hall will get an abbreviated power play of their own after that. So Washington now on the power play 0 for 4. And Balmoral Hall will get their second power play here in what is now 60 seconds. That shot is saved. Rebound attempt, and that shot goes just wide of Erdman's net. Third time attempt by Pino goes off the outside of the cage. So what they see what these teams can do here with a little more ice on 4-on-4 action. Nishi at the blue line. Will shuffle it in the corner. Smith will control now over to McDonald. McDonald tried to pass out in front for Pino. It was blocked, but Balmoral Hall will control. Pass goes through the skates of Pino. And down the ice, racing after it will be Nishi. 22 seconds left on the 4-on-4. Pino now gets one defender. She'll bring it to the blue line area. Over to Nishi. Nishi's shot goes wide. Willamette will chase after it on the far side. It's taken away, though, by Matuszewicz. As the final seconds tick off of Misner's penalty, so it's a power play opportunity now for Balmoral Hall. Their second of the game. 0 for 1 to this point. Now just 45 seconds left to go on the abbreviated player advantage. 2:31 go overall in the second period. 1-1 our score here from Schenectady, New York. Rowan Ringer passed through a couple players. The near side corner. Washington looking to fight and get the puck out of the zone. Can't do so. Skating back in the corner is Morgan Hill. She is dispossessed by Madeline McKay. 13 seconds left on the power play. DeGroot with it at the blue line. She'll skate it in. Looking to go back to the blue line. It's kicked to the tape, but it stays in the zone. We're back to even strength as that puck is shuffled through the crease area. 100 seconds left to go in period number 2. 1-1 our score. Balmoral Hall looking to keep the pressure on after their second power play did not go as planned. Casey Blum with it. She gets tripped up. No call. Play stays in the offensive zone for the Blazers. Cockrell leaves it off. Multiple players down. But the puck stays in the offensive zone as we approach 1 minute to go in period number 2. McDonald gets tripped up. No call. There's a shot from the slot area by Kaiser that whistles wide. And Washington has no choice but just to ice this puck. And it's not going to reach the blue line, the red line, I should say. That was very well done as that puck just stopped on a dime there. Now potential opportunity there, but unable to control it was Hins. And it's sent back into the offensive end. Washington at this point probably just wants to get themselves to the end of the frame here. 30 seconds to go. Score tied at 1. Now here come the Pride. Wojciak with it. Drops it off. There's a shot that's saved by Cherkis. Not a lot on that attempt by Susan Rotherham. 20.1 remaining in the period. That is Washington's first shot in a while. Don't know the exact time, but it's certainly been more than a few minutes since the Pride had their last shot attempt on goal. But Cherkis keeps that one out, and we stay tied up at 1. Off the face-off, Yetman has it behind the net, goes to the near side. Ringer with it. Maybe a chance for one last rush for Balmoral Hall. It's now 5 seconds left. And any sort of interference was going to be the end of that chance, and as a result, the buzzer sounds to end the second period of play. We are scoreless after 1 period. We are tied at 1 after 2 periods. Here between Balmoral Hall and Washington. Shots in that second period. Balmoral Hall with 16. Washington with 5. So after 40 minutes, Balmoral Hall with a 27-12 advantage in shots. But just the 1 goal for each team so far in this contest. For Washington, it was Dee Dee Tyndall opening the scoring 6 minutes into the second period. Off an assist from Sophia Lito, which put the Pride in front 1-0, but just about 5 minutes later, Balmoral Hall was able to answer as Haley McDonald scored her 7th of the season shorthanded off assists from Morgan Smith and Kurtia Yetman. And that is where we stand 1-1 after 40 minutes of action here from Union College in Schenectady, New York. We thank you for watching here today and all season long, of course, on jwhl.org. We have 2 more games coming up later on today as teams head to Troy to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute as North American Hockey Academy takes on Pacific Steelers at 6 p.m. Eastern Time here. And then following that, you have U16 action as North American Hockey Academy takes on Washington Pride beginning at 8 o'clock. It's, of course, a very busy weekend here for the JWHL teams. There'll be 3 games here at Union tomorrow as Dan Ball will be on the call beginning with Naha against Stansted at 11:30 here from Messer-Rankin Achilles Center in Schenectady, New York. The capital region of New York, about, as we said, about 2.5 hours or so south of Lake Placid and about 3 hours north of New York City, right in the middle of the state. So we'll take a quick break here for a few minutes as there's about 10 minutes left on the clock with the teams in their locker rooms. We'll be back in just a bit to bring you the third period of action between Washington and Balmoral Hall. Once again, the score after 40 minutes, it's Washington 1 and Balmoral Hall 1. You're watching JWHL Hockey on YouTube. And we're back here at Mesa Rinkin Achilles Center here in Schenectady, New York, as we get set for the third period of action here between the Washington Pride and the Balmoral Hill School Blazers. Each team with one goal through the first 40 minutes as we get set to what will be a surely entertaining third period of action here between these two teams. It's been a game of punches and counterpunches between these two squads, as Balmoral Hall has arguably had the better of play for a large part of the game, but Washington certainly has played very well defensively. They've locked down defensively. They've done a great job. They've gotten some really solid goalkeeping from Alex Erdman, who has made 26 saves on 27 shots through the first 40 minutes and has certainly done her part to keep her team in the game. And for Balmoral Hall, despite the fact that they have dominated in shots and possession, their only goal this game so far has come while shorthanded, which is a bit surprising. As at even strength, Washington with a 1-0 lead in terms of goals. And we're set here underway in the third period of action. Face-off is won by Balmoral Hall. McDonald sends it back to the blue line as the teams have the fresh sheet of ice for the first time today since the opening face-off of the game. Back to the blue line, taking your eye off the puck for a second was Cockrell, and that allows Washington to clear the zone. Now the puck knocked away by Cockrell. That shot gets deflected wide. And now back the other way comes Abby Pino. Excuse me, that's Kaiser with it. Drops it off, a lot of space, and that shot is fought off and just streaks wide of the post. Oh my goodness, and then a rebound attempt by Kaiser was saved. Wow, that first shot attempt, you can only say Erdman fought that one off, and it popped up in the air and bounced right along the goal line and squeaked just wide. So 2 more stops for Erdman's ledger in the opening minute of this third period of play. And out to center ice. One positive you can say for Balmoral Hall now, it's been a minute into the period. They haven't committed a penalty since the first period and the second period. They both did within the first 30 seconds to put them down a player. So that's a positive you can already have for the Blazers in this third period. Puck sent back in the Washington defensive zone. Back to get it is Matuszewicz. Looking for some options. Goes to the near side for Prantner. And back to Matuszewicz. She gets knocked off the puck by McKay. Team fight for it on the near side boards. Comes back. There's a shot that's wide by Ringer. And goes all the way out to center ice. Now Chorley with it. Chorley gains the offensive zone. They'll change the deep pairing, and that shot goes off the body of Morgan Hill into the corner. Still in the offensive zone. DeGroot with it. Leaves it off for Chorley. Chorley out front looking for Pino. They could not connect. Now giveaway right in front of the slot area, but Balmoral Hall could not take immediate advantage. Now Yetman will cycle behind the net. Leaves it off for Chorley. Chorley will cycle it in, this time for Valinska. And they say the forecheck of Balmoral Hall has been very impressive today as they get the puck in the offensive zone and they can just keep it there. And as soon as they say that, Washington does a good job of getting the puck out of the zone as it's sent all the way down the ice by Hins. Pino back out to center where it's corralled by Matire. Washington off for a partial line change, as does Balmoral Hall. And Matire will bring it over center ice. She leaves it off. Shot gets deflected off the stick of Misner into the near side corner, and eventually the puck goes out of play with 16:35 to go in the third period. Just 2 shots so far in this third period, both of them coming off Blazer sticks. It'll be Smith against Wilbur on this draw. And Wilbur wins it cleanly back. There's a shot in front that's saved. Rebound is loose in front. No one could get there for the Pride, as that was Wojciak who took the initial shot that was steered away by Cherkis. Now in center ice. Matier has it. And flips it forward. Going back to track it down will be Nishi. Leaves it off for her D partner, Misner. 4 minutes to go, or 4 minutes gone by, I should say, in this third period of play. Still 1-1 our score here from Mesa Rinkins, Schenectady, New York. Thank you for joining us today, all weekend long, all season long here on jwhl.org. Now over to Nishi. So cycle up behind the net for McDonald. She's the goal scorer for Balmoral Hall today. Her 7th of the season. And we'll have players down and a whistle will stop play with 15:32 to go in the third period. Face-off will come, I believe, in the offensive zone to the right of Alex Erdman, who's made 28 saves to this point. And we'll have an icing call. Teams will come back down the other end. Here's a shot. Erdman with the save. It pops up in the air, and she gloves out of midair on that shot from the blue line by DeGroot. Now the defensive zone, try to keep it in the blue line, will be McMenamin. And we'll have a whistle to stop play. I think the puck may have come out of the zone. That seems to be the indication. So faceoff coming up to center ice. Smith and Jones on this draw. With 14:49 remaining in period number 3. Face-off won by Balmoral Hall. And they'll tip it into the offensive zone. Nice job there, though, by Morgan Hill to keep the puck from getting by her and setting it back up to center ice. Now Kaiser on the near side. Loses it for a second in her skates. Now gives it off to McDonald. McDonald shot. Save. Rebound was there, but able to get to it was Morgan Smith. So Hayden McDonald, certainly she has been the most dangerous player on the ice for either team here today. You don't want to give her a whole lot of open space between her and the goalie. But Erdman was able to make the save on that chance. Now back in the offensive zone. Smith will wheel it around the boards. McDonald will chase after it, as will Morgan Hill. And Hill gets to it first, clears it all the way down the ice. And we'll have another icing here with under 14 to go. Chormley on the draw against Wilbur. And it's won by Washington, I guess we'll say, as they cleared around to the near side boards. Trying to get out of the zone. DeGroot chasing after it along with McCluskey. Wojciak emerges with the puck for the Pride and sends it out to center ice. Nishi has it knocked off her stick. And Mateer will shuffle it back out to center ice once again. Ends up going all the way down, but no icing as it's waved off at the last second. Now a giveaway in front. There's a shot that's saved by Cherkis. That was Casey Blum who forced the turnover and took a shot from a tough angle. Cherkis was paying attention, luckily, and able to keep that one out of the net. And we're going to have another whistle and another penalty here. It's going to be an interference call coming up on Washington. It's going to be number 18, Maddie Wojak, who's going to go to the box. 2 minutes for interference. So Washington will get, Balmoral Hall will get their third power play chance of the game. They're 0 for 2 for this point. So with 13-12 remaining, Blazers looking to see if they can get their first lead of the afternoon. As Washington wins that draw and quickly sends it down the length of the ice from McMenamin. Blazers back the other way. Misner skates in the offensive zone. Misner tries to go 1-on-4. Her shot gets blocked, but the Blazers will control. McDonald, she gets tripped up, and that's going to be a penalty. And now it's going to be really dangerous. It's going to be a 5-on-3 power play as Dee Tyndall will go to the box for a trip. As she stuck the leg out there trying to stop Haley McDonald. And now the Blazers are going to have 1 minute and 32 seconds of 5-on-3 power play. And this is not what you want for the Pride. It's going to take a big effort from the three players on the ice right now, and of course from the goalie, Erdman, potentially, to keep this game tied up at 1. Cockrell's past McDonald. Now Misner with it over to Cockrell. Cockrell, McDonald, pass in front. Not sure who she was looking for. Either way, it squirts back to Cockrell. Her shot gets deflected high over the net. Now Misner, the Cockrell. Now Smith with it, had a little trouble. Gives it back to Cockrell. Surveying her options. Goes back to the blue line for Misner. Misner top of the circle. It's poke-checked away. Beautiful job there by Casey Blum. As she knocked it right off the stick of Misner. Now we'll take some more seconds off the clock. 45 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. Misner skates it to the zone. She'll peel back at the top of the circle. Nishi with it. Now McDonald. Looking for Misner in the slot. It's knocked away by Blum. Can't clear the zone, but it comes loose and will be cleared out by Alex Hemingway. Or excuse me, that's Sofia Matuzovic, who sends it down the ice. So again, Blum has been all over on this penalty kill. But now here comes a chance for Balmoral Hall. In all alone, and that shot goes high in the net. Wide open was Kaiser, but she could not find the net. The 5-on-3 is expiring. Back to 5-on-4, and with 1 second left on the 5-on-3, it's a goal. And Balmoral Hall, technically it's a 5-on-4 goal for the Blazers. But it's Brea Kapusta. Madeline McKay, who puts it home. Her first goal of the season with 11:11 left to go in the third period. So they're going to say this is going to be a 5-on-5 goal, as that goal was basically scored as soon as the first penalty expired. So we're going to say it's the second penalty that gets credit for the power play goal there. But Madeline McKay from Oak Bluff, Manitoba, gives Balmoral Hall their first lead of the game, and they almost killed off the 5-on-3. The defense did its job for the most part, but at the very end, they get that one last chance. And the Blazers convert, and they have a 2-1 lead here as we approach the midway point of this third period. Waiting on official word, but it's McKay, her first of the season for the 2027 grad. Blazers have it back to the blue line. Yetman goes cross ice for Nishi. Nishi's shot gets blocked. Nice job there by Wojciak to get in the passing lane or shooting lane. Now Casey Blum with it. Gets by a couple of defenders, and her shot goes harmlessly wide. Yetman will control behind her net for the Blazers. Now Chornley with a pass forward, looking for those to Groot, but puck is covered up by Erdman. .9:49 to go in the third period of play. 2-1 Balmoral Hall on top, their first lead of the game on the power play goal from Madeline McKay. Now Valinska tries to put one out in front. It's knocked away by Madeline Hill, cleared out of the zone. Tyndall will race after it, and a very late icing call as Cockrell just barely got there, just as the puck barely got there. Over the red line. We'll have another stoppage. 9:23 to go in period number 3. Shots are 4-3 in favor of the Blazers so far in this third period. Face-off won by Balmoral Hall, and that puck goes out of the zone for an icing, or for offsides. The goal officially is McKay, her first this season from Ringer, her third helper of the year. And that came in with 11:11 to go in the third frame. We're now approaching 9 minutes remaining in period number 3. There's a giveaway at center ice. Morgan Smith brings it the other way. Smith, her shot goes well high and wide of the net. She was looking for the unassisted tally. Cockrell gives it off, and Smith is depossessed nicely by Manning. Or by Rotherham, excuse me. Cockrell behind her net. Settle things down for the Blazers. Puck kept in the offensive zone, at least temporarily, and now pass forward to Kaiser as they escape the defensive end. McDonald, a drop pass to no one, and it's taken away by by Washington, I should say. Matire with it. Now back the other way. Matuszewicz got by one defender, try to get by a second one. Will skitter the puck behind the net. As Washington looks to set up some sort of forecheck, but quickly out of the zone come the Blazers. Back the other way, shot deflected by McCluskey. Goes behind the cage. Back to the blue line, Wojciak with it. Nice job making some space there was Casey Blum, and her shot whistled just wide of the near side post. Blum has been all over the ice for the Pride so far in this third period. Arguably their best player on the ice here tonight to this point. Today, I should say. It's not quite night yet, as we're after 1 o'clock here in the Eastern time zone. Now Nishi with it. Sends up the ice. Looking for McKay. She had some trouble getting the puck past the defender. It ends up trickling towards the side of the net where it's covered up by Erdman. 7:19 remaining in this contest. 2-1 Balmoral Hall on top. Face-off is won by the Blazers. And DeGroot sends it along the boards into the corner. Players from both teams fighting for it. Eventually it squirts loose. Chornley tried to go back to the blue line. The pass was intercepted and knocked away. Now Yetman retreats into her own end. Under 7 to go. Washington down by a goal, looking to tie this game up. Valinska gets by one defender, but the puck is knocked away. As Tyndall sends it down the ice, they'll wave off the icing. As Nishi chases after it along with Prantner. A big collision there at the top of the slot. Top of the circle, I should say. No call. And we'll go back the other way. There's no icing. Referees will wave that one off. As Valinska gets knocked off the play by Carly Hinz. Now the Pride back the other way. Shot on goal there by McMenamin. Goes right into the pads of Cherkis, and she will hold on for the stoppage. 6:07 remaining in the third period. Still 2-1 Blazers on top. And it's the 16th shot of the game for Washington, their 4th of this third period. Misconnection there by McMenamin, and the pass comes back out to center ice. And the Pride will have to regroup. Misner with an active stick knocks the puck away from Jones. Now Matuszewicz with it. Trying to get up the far side boards. Robbins having some trouble as players from both teams down the ice. Eventually it squirts loose to the Pride, but they can't clear the zone. Kaiser will send it in behind the net. Now McDonald takes the puck away from the Washington defender. Now comes loose to Robbins. She'll send it up the ice. Was looking for Hinz. They couldn't connect. And the Pride will control their defensive zone. Now forward to Wilbur. Wilbur's nice moves to get in the offensive end. Leaves it off for Blum. Her pass back to the blue line was a dangerous one. It's intercepted by Willamette. Now Balmoral Hall back the other way. Players from both teams go down. No calls from the referees. Back up to Nishi. She'll go across ice. And that shot by DeGroot was blocked before it got to Erman's net. That shot does get through by Nishi. Is patted away into the near side corner. Nishi again with it. At the blue line, surveying her options. Her shot gets blocked. It gets about halfway there before Wilbur got a stick on it. Near side, Washington ends up getting the puck back as Blum going to pass it to herself off a Balmoral player. And a little too much stick work at the blue line for Blum, and then offside is called as McCluskey was in just a fraction too early. 4 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the third period. Still 2-1 Balmoral Hall on top. Face-off is won. Neutral ice. Washington will send it into the offensive zone. Yetman had it there. Can't quite clear the zone. It's kept in just barely by Matire. We'll obviously keep an eye on Alex Erdman. We're probably a little early for pulling the goalie. There's 4 minutes left to go in this third period. But Washington down by a goal. Of course, the power play hasn't been too kind for the Pride today. They're 0 for 4 on the player advantage and have given up a shorthanded goal. So they've had more chances, even strength they have with a player up. Pino, Stakano's into the zone. Will just saucer the puck behind her into the corner. 3.5 remaining in this third period. Pino now with a shot there that gets blocked. Which hope for maybe for Washington is maybe get a penalty, then you can pull the goalie and go up 6-on-4. Maybe see if that might provide a better advantage. But we'll see what head coach Kush Sidhu does here as we approach the 3-minute mark of this game. There's a shot saved by Erman once again. It's 32 stops on the day so far now for Erdman. She's played very well. She's kept her team in this game. Matuszewicz behind the net, or behind the red line. Pass in front, a dangerous one in her own slot area. They get away with it, at least for the time being. And now back to blue line. Yetman fires one wide. With now 2.5 to go in the third period. Robbins up the near side boards. She gets knocked off the play by McDonald. As the puck squirts out to center. Yetman with it. She'll curl back around. Past the blue line. That's a bit of a dangerous pass for DeGroot. Somehow DeGroot comes away with the puck. There was multiple white jerseys there, but she was able to corral it, keep it in the zone, and get it in deep. And that's the best possible scenario for Balmoral Hall right now. Just keep the puck down this end of the ice, as we're under 2 minutes now to go. Yetman's pass is blocked. McMenamin trickles one on goal. It's stopped by Cherkis, and she will hold on for the faceoff. 1 minute, 49 seconds left to go in the third period. It will be an offensive zone draw for the Pride. Lito's going to take this one. She loses it, though, to Willamette. Net is still occupied by Erdman. As there's a shot again, this time by Lito, is saved by Cherkis. So a couple of opportunities for the Pride here in these final 2 minutes. There's 1 minute and 38 seconds left to go. It looks like we're going to have a timeout called by Washington with 1:38 on the clock. So you would have to imagine that Erdman's going to come to the bench, and she's not going to go back for the Pride, as they do have an offensive zone draw. The draw is going to come to the left of Lauren Cherkis, who has made 17 saves on 18 shots. You have Krush Sidhu talking to his Washington Pride. You have Sarah Zacharias and Regan Bolton talking to Balmoral Hall. Both of them are alums of the school. Zacharias in 2008, Bolton in 2009. A program that certainly has built a strong tradition over the last decade or two. They will send Smith, Cockrell, McDonald, Kaiser, and Misner out on the ice for the Blazers. We'll see who comes out for Balmoral Hall. It's going to be Wojak, Matire, Tyndall, Lito, Blum, and Prantner. As the net is empty for Washington, they'll have a 6-on-5 advantage. It says 52 seconds on the clock. That's not right. It said 52 seconds. That's not what was on the clock. It was about, I want to say, 1 minute and 38 seconds, I believe, was the correct amount. Yep, 1:38 they put back on the clock. So now we're set to go. Face-off is won by Washington. Shot through traffic is blocked. The rebound attempt is also blocked. There were two good chances there. That was Misner who got a shin on the second one. That shot goes wide. So good pressure off the draw for Washington. And unable to keep the puck in the zone. And now here comes Kaiser. She sends one wide. And we're going to have a penalty called on Washington's. That is going to take any advantage that the goalie coming out has. And that was the case there. There was a pass back to the blue line. Didn't quite get there with the alacrity with which it needed. And it's going to be a tripping penalty called on Maddie Wojak. So now Erdman will come back into her net. And it's going to be a power play for Balmoral Hall. It's going to be their 6th of the game. They're 1 for 5 for this point. And it was that power play goal in the third period by McKay, which has proven to be the difference at this point, as that shot goes wide. We're in the final minute of play here in the third period. The Pride are going to need something special to try to get a game-tying goal here, down by a player. We have, of course, seen one shorthanded goal already today coming for the Blazers. Smith will skate it back into her own zone, and they're certainly in no rush to go forward. They just want to keep possession of the puck right now. Misner with it. Crosses over center ice. Doesn't even go into the zone. We'll leave it off for Willamette. And this is just keep away here for the Blazers, with now 18 seconds left to go. Willamette into the zone. It's taken away there by Blum. And the puck will be frozen in the near side corner as the seconds tick off. And that's all Balmoral Hall needs to do here as the seconds tick off and the final buzzer sounds, and that will do it here from Mesa Rink as Balmoral Hall improves to 5-1 on the season with a hard-fought 2-1 win over the Washington Pride. Washington falls to 1-3-1 on the season in what was a very good effort for both teams. In that third period of play, the shots on goal were 9-8 in favor of Balmoral Hall. They finished the game with a 36-20 edge in shots on goal, as Lauren Cherkis makes 19 saves on 20 shots to pick up the win. She improves to 2-1 on the season. Alex Erdman